Welcome and thank you for listening to the Muses of the Crystal Lotus.
So, welcome to the Muses of the Crystal Lotus. We are going to talk about essential oils today. And we are going to just pick Tennille's brain until she can't think anymore.
Yay!
We have with us Stephanie Lanham from Rediscover Health. We have Christina Dolan, Reiki with Christina Dolan. And we have Tennille Spencer from Natural Healing Massage, who also does aromatherapy in her massage. So we wanted to just talk about some of the favorite oils that get asked for and what each one maybe does. So, Miss Tennille.
Well, I am a big essential oil user for lots of different things. When it comes to massage, a lot of people want it for relaxation. So I have a blend I like to use with doTERRA called Serenity. One of my all-time favorites to use, even for myself, is the grounding blend. It's very earthy. Balance is the name of that one. And if you mix equal parts of Serenity and Balance, it's called Liquid Xanax.
I want to try that.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, I want to
used
try.
a lot yesterday. And people were like, oh, I'm a noodle. And you're welcome.
I like being a noodle.
Also, I like to use Lang Lang a lot. I used to diffuse that in the room. After COVID hit, took a lot of stuff out of the room. But Lang Lang was one I like to just diffuse, just to smell in the room a lot.
That's a very uplifting, feel good blend or oil. That's my favorite, I think. Of all of them, that's my top favorite.
I have a lot of favorites. It's definitely one of mine.
Yeah, me too.
So what I love about using essential oils in a massage is not only am I massaging the essential oils into my clients, so they're smelling it and they're absorbing it, but I'm getting the same benefits because I'm absorbing it and smelling it too. So as I'm healing them with essential oils, I too am getting those benefits from it.
Nice. So if somebody comes in and they're just, they've got a lot of lower back pain and they're just wanting you to loosen up those muscles, what kind of oil do you use for that?
That one I have a blend that I use that is Young Living. But things like eucalyptus and peppermint and things like that have that menthol kind of helps with the inflammation in the area. And those ones are really good to use on tight muscles as you're working it in, because that coolness of it is going to bring down the inflammation of the inflamed area I'm working on to help increase the blood flow to that area. Peppermint's also really good. I do a sinus clearing session where I do facial cupping. I work your nasal passages, work it down the side of your neck so it can drain. I do cupping, and then I'll put peppermint or eucalyptus, whichever the client prefers, on my hands after I put some here to help with the inflammation in the area. Have them close their eyes and just inhale it for a minute. And that works it in and opens up the nasal passages from the inside. So they're getting the essential oil benefits of topically for the inflamed muscles, but it's also going in and helping open up the nasal passages and the lungs to help them breathe better too. Kind of like
I want to sign up for one of those. I want one of those sessions.
It doesn't take me no time at all.
Anything that helps with the lungs.
Right?
Okay, so I know that personally, one of my favorite oils is the lavender because I use it for migraines. But I also, I have a diluted version, spritzer bottle, that I spray on my pillows to help me sleep when I'm particularly stressed out. Then I use peppermint oil for things like anxiety, depression, because that just picks me back up again. And I use spiritual awakening for meditation. So I'm kind of curious if when you're using these oils for specific purposes, do you have a special one that you use just to help people to chill out when you first start?
That would be probably Serenity or the Liquid Xanax blend or the grounding blend. I mean, the grounding kind of helps with anxiety. And the Serenity is more of like that calming, because it does have lavender in it, chamomile. Not sure what else in it, but it is those calming scents. I would like to let you know though that when you have a migraine, you take peppermint oil and you put it along your occipital ridge right under your skull, and that's going to help with the inflammation, help with that, and really good for uplifting. Like you were saying, you're using those menthol based ones, citrus essential oils, oranges and limes and stuff like that, lemons. Those are really good for uplifting.
Okay, so here I have another question. This is kind of a, I don't know. Tina and I are both Reiki masters. When Tina's in-house, Tina is the Reiki master because she's the one who trained me. You guys are also level 2 Reiki practitioners. I'm curious, is there a special oil that can be used? Because I know sometimes you use the Reiki in your massages, Neil. Is there an oil that can be used that works when you're doing Reiki? I mean, do you ever use an essential oil, Tina, when you're doing Reiki?
No, I have not personally.
I'm curious, you know.
I have not. I know I can, but I haven't. So I'm not familiar enough with it to feel comfortable in choosing one at the moment.
I think the difference with that is doing Reiki is that universal healing energy. You don't need an essential oil for that. But if you're using the essential oil or you're using the Reiki for a specific purpose, you could then use an essential oil that correlates with that.
Right, which we talked about in the chakra balancing
and
class.
place it on there to where they're getting the health benefits of it while they're getting the Reiki session. But I don't know and have not heard of, that doesn't mean it's not a thing, about the usage of specific essential oils to increase your Reiki, because that's why we have symbols we do in the air.
Well, you know, I'd wonder if perhaps essential oils that correlate more with the third eye or the crown chakra when doing Reiki, because of that connection to the energy and to the universe, life force, all of the stuff into the field, the ether, if that would help. So like rosemary oil, for example, rosemary's got the constituent rosmarinol, which helps with actual cognitive support. So that's one of the herbs that I incorporate into the third eye tea is rosemary. So I wonder if that, and rosemary, I mean, you see like the Romans or the Greeks that have the rosemary sprigs. You know, the smell of rosemary helps with cognitive memory and support. You know, if you're studying or focusing, having rosemary essential oils around. So I wonder if that would be a good one to do, because it does help with that cognitive functioning.
I know I've talked to some people, Neil, that, and these are the older people. I mean, I'm old, but they're, you know, older people, that they say that they don't have a lot of focus and they stress up because their mind isn't working like it used to. And so they come in to get a massage just to relax and get rid of some of that stress. But it's being caused by a lack of focus. Would you use maybe rosemary for that to help them to?
There's actually an oil blend. My daughter had the hardest time focusing in school. And so I bought this roller ball, and I even told her teacher, I'm like, keep it on her desk. When you see that she's taken off in La La Land, put some on her. And it's helped me like with work when I'm all over the place. It's kind of like a jasper in an oil form that I use it. And all of a sudden I'm a machine at working, and I would send it with her for that. And that's in tune. I'd have to look up what's in it. It's a doTERRA, but it was a blend that would specifically do it for that. I would say that rosemary, there's days when my intuition is on it and there's days when I'm not. So I'm sure that using rosemary when you're trying to do intuitive work would be beneficial. But when it comes, if I had someone come to me and ask me what they can do for their mind, that's when I would step out of the oil conversation we're on, go into mycology and talk to them about lion's mane mushroom. Mycology mushrooms have a lot of healing components that people are not aware of. I think it's starting to be more aware of. But lion's mane does nerve report, and it kind of clears up foggy brain and makes your synapses fire like this.
Mhm.
I can tell a huge difference in myself. If I'm going to have a busy day, I try to make sure that I take it, and my brain is going like this, where normally it's not. I can tell right now that I've not taken it.
Have you tried the Four Sigmatic lion's mane coffee, Tennille?
No.
Oh my gosh. It's mushroom coffee.
I have
Okay,
had.
what is the name of that? What that again?
That was Four Sigmatic is the brand, and it's their mushroom coffees. So they have a lion's mane. They have an adaptogen blend with I can't remember if it's rhodiola or ashwagandha, but it's one of the adaptogens that helps with the stress
really
response.
coffee, though, right?
I'm sorry.
It's really coffee.
It is. I think they have coffee, which is actual coffee mixed with these other like nootropics. And then they have, I believe, just blends without coffee too.
So I'm not a coffee drinker. Never have been.
You could do tea.
Yeah, I can do teas, but not coffee. My dad told me when I was 14 never to touch a coffee pot. Because I make the worst coffee ever. So I took him to his word. So I haven't.
You know what?
My
You
dad
can make the best
I made the
coffee
worst.
ever if you just get a Keurig.
I was gonna say I'm going to Healthy Life Market today, and they sell Four Sigmatic. So if some shows up at the shop this week, just FYI.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. At least send me a picture of
Definitely.
it.
I'd love to try that.
It's good.
Sometimes we get so much on our plates that you can't focus on one thing because you don't know which to start with because you got so much going on.
Yep.
And I know personally, I have been trying to actually set up sessions with Tennille where I can just chill out, get rid of some of the stress, just get back to where I can think again.
Mm-hmm.
And something always comes up.
We need to schedule another.
I know she's been trying to get on her table forever, but I would love to be there. I really would.
So, Tennille, you mentioned doTERRA. Are you a doTERRA rep?
I was a couple years ago. I haven't stayed up with it. I definitely have a shelf full of oils. But some people like Young Living, some people like doTERRA. To me, they're both the highest quality you can get. I use both. I know Jeannie is currently a Young Living rep. Both of them are 100% therapeutic grade. That's something else. Let's talk about that real quick. People will get essential oils off the shelf and it'll say 100% pure essential oil. I believe they can have 30% fillers and still be labeled 100% pure. So you have to do your market research on that, because having had been in the industry and focused on ordering products that are not the marketing companies like doTERRA and Young Living, there are companies that do that, but there are also companies that have pure like seed to shelf transparency, and so you have to do your market research. So there is possibility to get 100% essential oil without fillers and stuff, but you have to know what company you're getting it from. Therapeutic grade is the key. If you see that on the bottle, then it's 100%. But if it doesn't say therapeutic grade on it, then it's got fillers. Which it doesn't mean that essential oil is bad. That's just not what I would ingest.
Uh-oh, I see a butt coming up.
Go ahead.
No, I don't. I'm anti-ingest, period. Like, regardless if it's therapeutic grade or not.
Essential oils?
Yes, there's.
Oh, no, I do.
So I never ever recommend it.
Talk to me about that then. There is a blend, Digesten, and for me, and I would like to think you would agree, the 3 best things you can do for your digestive system is fennel, ginger, and peppermint. Basically, to me, anything that's going on in your stomach, one of those 3 or all 3 can help it.
But you have to think about 1 drop of essential oil is like consuming 30 peppermint plants. So it's highly concentrated. And if people don't dilute it correctly, if they don't have adequate research as to where their product was harvested, and organic versus non-organic, if you're consuming a highly concentrated non-organic peppermint plant that's been sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, you're going to get it. You're going to get it in there. So there's those things, so if you can me, you know me, and I'm not trying to be, I'm like devil's advocate right now, but you know me, I'm a tea drinker. So if I could drink a tea with peppermint and ginger and fennel in it, rest and digest,
Yes.
then I find that the concentrations scare me. You know, lemon oil. They say that the ones that you would normally consume, ginger, fennel, peppermint, lemon, orange, those things, of course, are safe. They do make toxic essential oils, meaning plants that are toxic to consume. So not all essential oils are safe. But they say, like, you know, 1 drop is equivalent to X amount of fruit or X amount of plant. And that's a highly concentrated amount. And if we're not super, super careful with it, it can be dangerous.
Okay, I agree with everything that you just said. I only do that with doTERRA brand, which I know is organic, no chemical. You know what I mean? They go and test these plants, they grow them specifically for this. And I only put 1 drop in a veggie cap, only when I'm having major belly emergencies. But yes, good point. You can't be filling up a veggie cap, and be mindful of what you're doing. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And there's
I usually just chew on fennel seed whenever I.
That's an educational thing. I think that's more or less, you know, again, I think I've mentioned this in previous episodes. I have a huge problem with Google and the way that information and education is spread nowadays. You know, we do want to make sure that before somebody does something, that they get permission from a highly qualified professional. You know, essential oil interactions with drugs, that's a big thing too. You know, if you're going to take this internally, you need to make sure there's not interactions. Like, it's all about making sure that you get your information from someone who knows what they're doing, which is why, again, back why I asked you if you were a doTERRA rep, because there's a lot of education that comes with being one and looking into it and selling it so that you can communicate these things with your clients, right?
Yes, there was. I definitely learned a lot when I joined doTERRA. I definitely learned a lot about it and placements. And another cool fact that I absolutely love is your feet have the largest pores on your body. So you can rub an essential oil on your feet and it'll be going through your body within minutes. It absorbs into your bloodstream and it's going through your body. So you're getting the physical benefits. So, you know, Sierra, my daughter, when she's been sick and I'm putting it on her chest and back like a Vicks rub, I'll put it on her feet too. Same with, you know, blends to boost immune system, put it on her feet. So even if you're stressed or anything and just feel like you need a quick boost of it, you can rub it on your feet and you're going to be getting it in your system quick.
All right. So on that, then I got to ask you. Okay, well, we've talked about essential oils as massage and on the bottom of your feet being absorbed into your body because you've got permeable membranes on your body. So things that we put on absorbs in. So what is your, this is just for general, because we can, what is your thoughts and opinions on using lotions with artificial fragrances versus lotions with essential oils?
All these chemicals that are in your lotions, which I'm guilty of using some of them too. Your shampoos, your lotions, your body washes, everything that you put on your body that has chemicals to create it, your body is absorbing that. Every single bit of it. So if you're slathering yourself in this chemical lotion that smells like roses and lavender and jasmine and vanilla, you might smell great, but you're putting those toxins and chemicals in your body. And a lot of them, I mean, so it's kind of like you are what you eat, you are what you put on your body too.
It's a very good point. Very good point.
I like that you brought that up.
Yeah. I have the time this episode launches will be right before the detoxification class, where I talk about like busting myths about your body's detoxification system and detox supplements, and is it necessary, is it not? So I thought I'd just lead in with that question to see what your general knowledge was about the absorption of things in your skin.
Yeah, the more natural you can go with any products that you're using, the better off you are. Safflower oil is a great moisturizer, by the way. It's the closest thing to the natural oil that we produce without clogging your pores. So if you get some safflower oil, which you can get at any store, when you get out of the shower, put a little bit on your hands, rub it on your skin. It's absorbed within minutes, and your skin is so soft. You're welcome.
I've got I've got safflower at the store. We can make our own oils.
Yeah, put a couple drops of your essential oil in there for what you want to smell like, for your mood. If you want to uplift, if you want to get all lovey, use some jasmine or some rose, whatever you're feeling like. Rub it on your body. You're going to smell good, and it's all natural, and you're getting those benefits, and it makes your skin super soft.
I got liquid Xanto.
So do you use
Some of that
essential
in there
oils?
and rub it all over us.
I've got it in the shop. We'll make you some up.
Do you use essential oils in all of your massages?
No, that's
No.
an upcharge, girl.
Oh,
Those are not cheap.
okay.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people that are allergic to the smells and things like that. So you have to be really careful if you are using anything, I guess.
I always ask before every massage, are you allergic to any lotions, oils, scents, anything? I do have a blend that has lavender and chamomile in it, and a couple other things that I like to use it. It's several different oils, grapeseed, avocado. I don't know what all's in it. I really like using that oil, so I use that one without an upcharge. But then I had someone who had a nut allergy, and if I didn't ask that, I would have been rubbing them with, it had coconut in it, and they would have had a reaction. So that's why I keep plain avocado oil to the side for people that have any kind of allergies.
That's why I don't burn anything in my office that deals with scents when I have clients, because I never know what their allergens are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know with the Reiki, several times I have asked people if they're allergic to sage, because I like to sage them before I put them on the table. And something about the smell of that white sage calms them down, especially if it's the first time.
I did know someone when I was taking my first Reiki class that was allergic to sage.
I wonder, that would transfer into essential oils as well, wouldn't it? If someone's allergic to the sage plant, wouldn't that translate to essential oil? They wouldn't be able to use the essential oil?
Yeah, they would not be. They stay away.
Well, the reason I ask is because
stay away from sage oil.
I know that most essential oils, especially the good ones like Young Living and doTERRA, they're distilled. And I was just curious if that wouldn't draw out some of the things, the allergens of that.
I don't know. I think it makes the plant, I think it makes it more potent and puts it in a liquid form.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't even test it.
Just curious.
Yeah, that's not something I would even play with. Just
it's more a condensed form, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more potent.
Well, you see what's going on over here. We got almost Dr. Stevie over there taking notes on, check that out. She looks very doctor today, doesn't she?
I love it.
I said when I put on the scarf and glasses, I aged myself a little bit. Look like Miss Frizzle.
Oh, well, you look like a librarian, but I'm not. I'm sorry.
Who's so sassy?
These little glasses holders here, this was a gift from my mother-in-law. And they've got this little charmy do that will hold my mask.
Oh, nice.
A mask and glasses holder. I'm so excited. Not like I wear my glasses very often.
I have some of those for my glasses. And I don't know what the problem is, if it's just me because I'm me. But every time I put my glasses in them so that I can, have them where I need them, if I don't have pockets, I end up walking through the store looking for them because they've dropped off somewhere.
I say I still take these off and I'll put them on my head. That's my biggest.
Yeah, I've done that too. But the first time it took me 15 minutes to get my hair out of the beads, I decided that wouldn't
Just like that.
Yeah, I can't do that with glasses. If they have the metal plastic things, I have to have just plain plastic or my hair eats it.
Yep.
Well, I see we're kind of running out of time here. So, Tennille, my darling, thank you so much. Very good information. And I hope that all of our watchers and listeners have gleaned something good out of this.
Real quick, we're going to do round robin while we've got another minute before it cuts us off. Round robin, 3 favorite essential oils. Tennille, go.
Jasmine, rose, lang lang.
Shanna.
I already told you, lavender, peppermint, and spiritual awakening.
Tina.
lavender for sure. I also like, what is I can't even think of the name of it at the moment, but lavender has been my favorite for a long time.
I
What is yours?
love Lang Lang, lavender, and coffee.
Actually, I like plumeria too.
Or holy
Plumeria?
basil too. I like holy basil.
I don't know what that is.
So. All right, folks. Well, here we are at the end of another episode of Muses of the Crystal Lotus. Tennille, thank you so much for aromatherapy. And we're going to pick your brain in future episodes about raindrop therapy, which is a type of massage with essential oils.
It's also a detox, isn't it?
Yes.
The raindrop therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So stay tuned for that episode and learn a little bit more about what that is and how it can benefit you. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of the episodes of Muses of the Crystal Lotus. You can also find us on Spotify, Facebook at Crystal Lotus Shop, SHOPPE, Instagram at CLSWV, and at 89 Old Main Plaza in St. Albans with the big purple awning. We're the only ones with the big purple awning on the front of the building.
And hopefully soon we're going to have a nice big sticker on the outside that says Crystal Lotus Shop.
Yes.
There is a sign hanging there too that
I know,
says-
but this will go on the front window where people drive
No.
by
I
can
was
see.
saying that his sign is so pretty. that he
It
made
is. It is.
All right, everyone. Until next time, thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Muses of the Crystal Lotus. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for professional care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical condition in either yourself or others. Consult your physician for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the podcast. Under no circumstances shall the Crystal Lotus Shop, any guests or contributors to the podcast, be responsible for damages arising from use of this podcast. Until next time, healthy blessings.